Yes, this is Remake News, and yes, it is Starship Troopers, which I think a lot of us out there love. And so, yes, I expect to get a lot of, grr stuff down in the comments, but this could be, I think this is good news, personally. Jason Emmett here, and this is the movie Mix. 1997, that's how long ago the film adaptation of Robert Heinlein's Starship Troopers hit the big screen. Directed by Paul Verhoeven, it was visually stunning. I mean, this movie still holds up, in my opinion. Telling the story of Johnny Rico and his fellow classmates as they face off against galactic war and these giant arachnid alien bug creature things. It was really a pretty cool movie. So this is one of those films that I absolutely love, and it gets rewatched by me all the time. There are some things I want you guys to remember. It didn't do that well when it came out, not critically and not financially, but I loved it right from go. Now, I have made my feelings regarding remakes, very clear here on the show. If you wonder what those feelings are, you can check out that video right up there. I mean, but if you're going to watch that one, then come back and watch this one, or just watch this one and then go watch that. I don't care how you do it, but make sure you watch this one too. But essentially, I'm okay with remakes. They are often good, more often than people like to admit. And if you watch that video, we talk about it. There's actually more good remakes than bad. It's just when the bad ones come, everybody gets really angry. And even when they aren't that good, the original is still out there, and they tend to draw attention to those originals. So that's why I don't think remakes are as bad as everybody else. Also, as we say in that other video, they've been doing this literally since the second year films were made. This isn't a new thing. Remakes have always happened. That being said, there are films that I sometimes feel could benefit from remakes. Some I think don't really need to be remade. And some that could be good regardless, assuming they do it the right way. So the novel for Starship Troopers is considerably different than the film. In fact, the original idea for the film wasn't even based on the novel Starship Troopers. It was called Bug Hunt on Outpost 7, and it was written by Edward Neumeier. It was produced by John Davison, who saw the similarities between, his script and Heinlein's book, and he suggested a rewrite to sort of line the two up. So the book is way more political. And the film actually took like a more satirical look at authoritarianism and the excess use of military and how military just sort of jumps the gun. It also deals with things like xenophobia and placing the blame on things and creatures and people just based off the way they look, even if they weren't the ones who started things. There is way less action in the novel, way less battle scenes, and way more training. There's no romantic angle between Rico and Carmen, and, Dizzy is a guy who isn't actually really in the book. He's just mentioned, but he's already dead when he's actually talked about, and Xander isn't in the book at all. The bugs are way smaller in the book, more the size of people, maybe a little bit bigger. They're also way more technologically advanced. They use like lasers and flying ships, and they live in cities. The bugs in the book they're standard bad guys. Also, the soldiers fight in mech suits in the book. They're not just soldiers on the ground. There are no psychic powers in the book. And there are engineered neo-dogs that can actually talk. There's another alien group in the novel as well that's never even mentioned in the movie. Well, sort of, but not as an alien group. So the two properties are not at all similar, and right now we're hearing that the new version is going to lean closer to the source material. Personally, I think this is the best idea because it will make the two films stand out against one another rather than feel like an exact remake. They can kind of be two separate movies. Now, as far as who's doing it, well, that's good news on a few fronts. Neil Blomkamp is writing and directing. Blomkamp gave us Chappie, Elysium, and the amazing District 9. He does sci-fi well. He does sci-fi effects well, and he does political sci-fi really well. This seems like a property right up his alley. Also, if we take a look at the game Halo, we will notice that it was directly influenced by the original story of Starship Troopers, and for those who didn't know, District 9 happened after funding was pulled for a Halo film where Neil Blomkamp and Peter Jackson were going to be making it, and they decided to go another route after the funding fell through. And some of the props that were actually designed for the Halo movie can be seen and were used in District 9. Now, we need to all remember that when the first film came out in 1997, like I said, it didn't do well critically or financially. It did develop a cult following later, but it performed really bad in the box office. Now, personally, I'm kind of into the idea of Blomkamp putting a fresh spin on this, but I hope he integrates some of the action and tones the political edge down just a smidge. I want it to be a nice, even flow kind of movie. I want to be entertained. I like the kind of highbrow stuff, but I also like the lowbrow stuff. So give us a nice mixture of both. Really, RoboCop did it really well back in the day for Paul Verhoeven, and I can see Blomkamp doing this really well in this film. I personally would like a marriage between the two properties. I also think it would be a great idea to have Casper Van Dien and maybe some of the others like Dina Meyer and Neil Patrick Harris, in the film in some way, even if it's just a cameo. But I think Casper Van Dien could take on like Clancy Brown's role in the original movie. I think that'd be kind of fun to watch. Anyway, drop me a comment. As always, guys, I know this one's going to set some of you off, but these are just movies. I really want to have the discussions, and I want to have those thought-provoking opinions down there, but play nice in the comments. Don't just be nasty. And while you're down there, go ahead and rip through that subscribe button, guys, because that's what we want you to do so we can just keep having these film discussions. I can't wait until next time when we get to chat about another movie, and until then, stay awesome.